Tracy Cardwell from LPCiminelli and the host of the Buffalo Public Schools renovation program, Making It Happen. The Making It Happen show is a monthly news show that brings you information about the individual construction happening at each school, along with information for our minority and women business enterprises and opportunities for our Buffalo Public School students. LPCiminelli is the program manager for the reconstruction program, and they are also the producers of the Making It Happen show. Right now, I'm standing in the conference room at our corporate headquarters where our Buffalo Public Schools Summer Management Interns was orientated on an upcoming project site tour. We took them over to Buffalo Public School number 65, which is the Roosevelt Early Childhood Center. And Arnie Cubins, our project manager, gave them a wonderful tour. Now, not only will you meet our interns today, but you will also get a wonderful tour and see what's happening over at School 65. So I'm so glad you tuned in. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Let's go over construction start date. They started back in May of last year. It's one of the smaller schools in the Phase 5 project. They are to be completed this month. So what's going to be really exciting is to see where they are right now, and you're going to go in there thinking, oh my God, they've got so much more to do, and they have to be finished in 2 weeks. But then it's amazing when you see how they get it done. Because these guys, they don't play. Especially you have to have a really good project manager and a really good project superintendent to be on top of all of the contractors, all of the electricians and the plumbers to make sure that everything is done timely. And they have what they call a schedule. And when you guys work in estimating, you'll find out what that scheduling cycle is, because that's what they're responsible for. There's like an electrician scheduler or estimator. There's one that deals in just plumbing. There's one that deals in mechanical. And they have a schedule that they have to keep within the scope of the project so that each contractor knows what their time limit is. They know what time, when they have to go and do their job. They can't do their job until maybe the plasters are done with this or the painters is done with this. So it's all on the schedule, and it's very tedious, but it's almost like a dance. You know, everybody's got to know your part, you got to know your steps, you got to know your lines, so that at the end, everything is complete. Project is an $8 million project, which is pretty awesome, but still it's one of our smaller projects. Total square footage is 63,000, a little over, well, almost 64,000. Some of the notable mentions of the project, a lot of it asbestos abatement, which you won't see any of that now because that's already done. Roof replacement, HVAC, who knows what HVAC means?
When they do air?
Heating, ventilating, air conditioning. Okay, so remember that, heating, ventilation, air conditioning system upgrade. So that means that all schools won't have air conditioner, okay? But in all of the new schools, like the main office has air conditioner, the computer labs have air conditioning, the principal's office has AC. So they all got upgrades, those HVAC upgrades, okay? Cleanup, patch and paint work. They said they modified some classroom sizes to meet SED. Who knows what SED stands for? Nobody? You want to take a guess? SED?
School.
Very good. Very good. Just think about it. Think about what we're talking about. Okay? Think about what we're talking about. There's a lot of acronyms you guys are going to learn during this process, okay? Because we throw them out there, all right? Preservation or reuse, you know what that means, right?
Yes.
Preservation or reuse, somebody give me an example. To preserve something or reuse something. Give me an example, anybody.
Putting your leftovers in the refrigerator?
That's one example, yes? For what though? You put it in the refrigerator for what?
So you can eat tomorrow.
Okay, because you're preserving it, right? Because if you leave a steak out overnight, you can't eat it the next day, right? Okay, so now let's apply that to construction. Can we give it a try, Kaishla?
Maybe something that's, if it's not all beat up, you can reuse it in your next project.
Right. What do you do though? If it's all beat up, what can you do to make it look new again?
Yeah.
Right, restore it. You restore it. So that's what we've done with a lot of the schools. We've restored a lot of things. The auditorium chairs. We didn't buy any chairs. There was no need to buy chairs because those chairs were beautiful. We just took them out and then we sent them to a place that they restored them. They sanded them, they repainted them, they reupholstered them, they brought it back and we installed them. They look brand new. Do you guys have your schedules with you by any chance?
Yeah.
Pull your schedules out and let's go over your schedules real quick. You guys gotta look at your schedule every day. Like after you leave here, look at your schedule to see where you're to report tomorrow. Okay, and then the next day, so that you'll know ahead of time. And actually, if you're gonna be at ECMC, kind of map out your bus schedule, your bus plan, because if you're taking the bus, you know, you gotta take a different route.
Yeah,
Don't report here, you report directly over to ECMC.
Hi.
Taylor Jans from Olmsted.
Okay.
I'm interested in mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Okay. And I forgot your name.
Kitty,
Okay.
Hutch Tech, and I can take everything.
Okay.
Kaishla Fernandez. I go to Hutch Tech, and I'm also interested in architectural engineering.
Okay. Very good. Actually, Hutch Tech, I started that job. That was a phase 3 project. I started that project before I got transferred to a job out of town. So we redid that school, I think, 2006, 2007, 2008. Yeah. So, you guys like your space over there? Do you? Good. Good.
Olmsted, they just finished up. Theirs is phase 4. They were phase 4.
I started that job also. That's on Suffolk, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, the old Kensington school.
Yeah. That school's in great shape. It didn't need
I know.
a lot in it. All the interior masonry's in good shape. You guys got some beautiful terrazzo floors. They were just cleaned up
Yeah.
and repolished.
That new addition, the music room, the red brick, or the red cube.
The cube.
It's in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do they use that for? Music instrument storage and lessons and things like that?
Yeah.
Orchestra room? Okay. And that's also another entrance. Is that another entrance to the auditorium back there that people use, or it's not used too much? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. All right, you guys ready? We're ready, Arnie. You ready?
Let's go. Okay. I forgot your name? Shayne. Okay, Shayne, you said you want to be an electrician?
Yeah.
That whole trade has changed so much since I was your age. When I was your age, there were no computers, no internet, nothing like that. It was just power and lighting. Power to plugs, power to lights. It was a simpler industry. But now, as our whole computer age has evolved, you've got a lot of low voltage wiring. All the computer wiring, all the computer outlets that are not in this music room, that's all low voltage wiring. And even that part of the industry changes day to day. That's the data. Telephone service is all low voltage. And now when put in new building systems, heating, ventilating, air conditioning systems, that's all controlled by computer. So that's all, temperature control used to be controlled by pneumatics or air pressure. Now that's all controlled by wiring and computers. And that's a part of your industry that when I was your age didn't exist. And there's so much more for you to know and you to learn. If you want to be an electrician, you get in the union. When 25 years ago, that was a 4-year apprenticeship. Now it's 6 years, just because of the fact there's so much more to learn and for you guys to, the knowledge you have to absorb. What we have in this room here, this is what they call a music room, and this is the whole music wing here. This is pretty much typical of the spaces that we renovated in the building. We got all fresh paint on the floors. We've got all new flooring, some very decorative and artistic patterns. And the school is a pre-K through 4. So it's a proven fact through research that children thrive in a more colorful atmosphere. It enhances creativity, it enhances their thought process. So when you go through this building, you're gonna see a lot of different colors and things like that. Even the ceilings used to be just plaster ceilings. Now we got these, they call them hanging clouds and whatnot. And it's all for the kids to stimulate creativity.
Who's the architect on this project?
The architect on this project is Young and Wright. And they've done a number of our jobs. They did this school, they did 72, And I know they did a couple others also.
Yeah, they do a great job over there, especially when it comes to being creative and colorful. We've seen a lot of their stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a typical classroom in the building. This is an upper level classroom. I think grades 1 through 4, all the pre-K through kindergarten classrooms are downstairs. And what Young and Wright did in their design is they incorporated a lot of new elements and maintained some of the historical elements. These wardrobes are original. These are almost 100 years old. So these are basically stripped down and refinished, restained, refinished. We got 2 teacher wardrobes here. Every classroom has a new computer counter, okay? Every classroom has new marker board services, as we can see on both of the, or all 3 of these walls, new tack board services. And one thing that the district wanted them to preserve were these existing chalkboard frames and chalkboards. These are existing, these are almost 100 years old. We stripped them down, we painted them, we made them look good. There's existing concrete base here, which we just basically took and painted to contrast the color. And here again, we have some elements in the classroom itself. The existing plaster ceiling has been patched and painted. We've got a cloud here for a little accent in the ceiling. And typically, over here, we maintain all of the existing window frames. And this part of the window here is called the sash. This is the operable part. And all the sash in the building have been replaced with double pane insulated glass, and that's going to save the district a lot of money down the road. The heating bills will be substantially less because of the insulated glass and because of the new roof and the new roof insulation. Come on in, guys. We've got cubbies. There's 2 students to each cubby. There's a coat hook on each side for their coats and their backpacks. One student's got a cubby up here for storage, one student's got a cubby down here, and all of these cabinets are for teacher storage. So every classroom has something very similar to the setup. Okay, this is the auditorium. It's an existing space that was renovated. And basically, this whole auditorium had a facelift. Whole new paint scheme all the way around. There's new lighting in the ceiling, which is very similar to what the old lights look like, except they're energy efficient. And what you see here, these are the frames of the auditorium seats. All the metal frames were taken out of the building. They were patched up and they're painted, and now they're being reinstalled. And the seat bottoms and seat backs were reconditioned, restained, and the ones that were really poor shape are replaced, and they do look like the original seat backs. Over up on the stage over there, we refinished the floors and added in new stage curtains, and there are new curtains within the building here also. And I spoke to air changes and whatnot. We had to add a rooftop unit and add ductwork above the ceiling, and in this space, we brought it up to code to get the proper amount of air changes in an occupied auditorium space. And I believe the capacity here is about 500 people in this auditorium. So we got new lighting here, new lighting behind the stage. So this is a classic example of, you recondition existing spaces, existing features, such the auditorium features are probably close to 100 years old. You can make the place look brand new.
The trimming, the carvings on the wall.
All that, what you see up here, that was all existing. That was all here. And that's all plaster mold. And there's one, you want to be an electrician, a trade that's really was always important, becoming more important with new technology. Plastering is one of the trades, it's a dying trade. And it's really not a trade, it's a work of art. Because how can you go up and create something like, all those, it's not a trade, that's a work of art. That's an artist who did that 100 years ago, And this auditorium used to be all one color, and what Young and Wright did is somebody with a great creative sense went through and said, hey, I can add a little maroon, I can add some beige to the white, I can add some darker beige and really make this place stand out and pop. And you know what? You saw this last year. It was really nothing what it looks like now. I mean, I'm not a creative person, but I'm walking here like, wow, this looks really good.
Are those the school's colors?
Yes, the school's colors, I believe, are maroon and beige. And we'll see some more of that as we go through the building. Also in this building, not only classroom spaces and office space getting renovated, all the bathrooms getting renovated. New toilet fixtures, new floors, new sinks, new tile on the walls. They took their creativity and extended into the bathrooms also by some fancy tile patterns, some circular tile patterns. And that ceramic tile is very difficult to cut. It's a hard material. So what they do is they lay the tile out in a pattern, the blues, the creams, the greens, and the reds, and they cut the tile with a water jet, a real fine bead of water at like 3,000 pounds per square inch. They got a jig, they take and cut it, and they label all the tile pieces. Then they put them together. You know, it comes in a kit in a box, and a tradesman just take and basically follow a shop drawing, a plan, and put those pieces on, and that's how they get those nice fancy patterns. And if you can see all the joints, all the separations between the different colors, it's all the same. So it looks like it's supposed to be there, and it is supposed to be there. So they take their creativity and put it in the bathrooms as well.
Look at that little tiny piece up there, guys, the green. Yeah, imagine having to cut that and match it, or even, I'm gonna step up here now. Even this, look at this little teeny tiny piece. You know, that has to be matched. This has to be cut and matched. So think about how tedious that job is to cut each little corner, each little pattern, and then get it in here perfectly. Yeah, that's an art. That's the work of art.
That's right.
Yeah, work of
Art with computers, because all those images are computer generated. They plug it into the water jet machine, and I've never seen what it looks like, so I don't know. I'm just speaking from what they told me.
Right.
It just takes and cuts the circular pieces. And you get a plan that could be, you know, G1, G2, G3, G4, green 1, 2, 3, 4, and red 1, 2, 3, 4, and blue, whatever. Just like putting a puzzle together. At the end of a job, we go through with the designers and with Buffalo Schools, we make up what's called a punch list. And a punch list is basically a list of items that need to be tuned up or corrected or completed in each room. So what we do is we go up, and this looks like a rather long list. It really isn't, because we want to turn out over a very perfect building to the owner. It's like things that need to be done, whose contract responsibility it is, and then when the contractor's done, they sign off on it, and then after they sign off on it, Jasmine or I go through and verify that the work is done. It's just basically a list of odds and ends in each room, in each space that need to be done before we turn the building over to the owner. And unfortunately, a lot of times, this part of the job drags out, and it's part of our job to make sure it doesn't. Okay, one of the existing design elements we did save were all the radiators, the cast iron radiators. And what basically happened to those radiators, they're 100 years old, but they're still in good shape. They were taken and chemically flushed to flush all of the scale inside the radiators out so they heat better. Another design element that was saved in many classrooms was this radiator cover. That cover is probably as old as the building. We took them all down, took them to a paint shop off-site, patched them up, painted them up, installed them back in, and you know there's a scenario where we use existing elements to save money, and you know what? Those things look fine. Now we're in a pre-K or kindergarten classroom here. One difference between the pre-K and the kindergarten classrooms, they all have their own toilet room, their own drinking fountain, and their own sink. So the young children do not have to venture out in the corridor to go to to the toilet room. So the example of that is back in the back corner there. You can see in the toilet room, they still have the design elements of the circles, the water jet cut circle ceramic tile, and each of the pre-K and kindergarten rooms has a sink and a water fountain and a space for a small undercounter refrigerator. Taking their circle theme and applying it to the walls, floors, and ceiling through ceiling grid and ceiling tile, paint, flooring, and then a wood wainscoting all the way down the corridor. And they took and added a couple of, I call them trophy cases, for awards the school's gotten. And when the kids come into school, this is the first thing they're going to see is this front corridor. I think they did an amazing job. This is the main office complex for the school. The head administrator and her team sits in this area here. Access to the school is through the front door. You get buzzed in, come to the office, you check in, you sign your child in, or you pick your child up. And this is the main gathering area for people when they pick up their kids, or when the faculty comes and gets their mail. There's a faculty mailboxes. But this whole, as you can see, this whole place has been redesigned, repainted with a similar multicolor theme that we have throughout the rest of the building. So this is the conference room for the principal or the teachers or whatever. We've got some new millwork in here for them. And, new shades that Tracy's playing with. Okay, this is the art room space. Very similar to the music space with the creativity in the floors and the walls and the ceilings. Remembering the original art room, this is much bigger, about 50% larger than what they had before. There's a storage closet back in there. There's a kiln in there for this we use for clay projects. Another little storage room or our teacher's office. This is the same configuration that they had before. They had an asbestos asphalt floor which was torn out. We poured new concrete floor in here, okay? All the existing walls were brick and they were acid washed to clean the brick off. We've got new windows and security screens up there. There's some existing radiators that were washed out and reused, repainted. New gym mats in the color scheme of the school, the beige and the red along the outside. And the product they're going to use for the gym floor, we're normally used to seeing a maple floor over concrete, our elementary schools and our high schools. In this school, they're using a vinyl product that looks like wood. They're going to take and glue this down, and then they're going to take and paint the lines on top of it. So the next 2 weeks before we get done, really the only things left in here is clean up and put the floor down, paint the lines on the floor, and we're done.
Wow. So that's going to be done in 2 weeks.
Yep.
2 weeks.
Okay. With respect to the exterior of the school, not much was done. All the masonry was in great shape. That didn't have to be repointed. We already talked about the new window sash going in. But you guys here on TV, the real estate shows curb appeal. I mean, Young and Wright gave the school some nice curb appeal. Before, there were a couple of trees that were in great shape, a couple of old bushes. I mean, the front of the school didn't really look that good or that inviting. But with a combination of sidewalks and some pavers and a couple of stone walls and a lot of plantings, for relatively inexpensive cost, they made the front of school really look great. Now, we put it in there and it looks good. And, you know, they specify plants and products. They're not that hard to maintain, so school continues to look good. Add a new flagpole in the front, a couple of bike racks here, and the whole front of the school draws you into the main entrance to go through the main door. Okay, this is the playground, new playground for the school, enclosed by a metal fence. That area over there is from 2 to 5-year-olds. This is for 5 to 12-year-olds. brand new playground system, and one thing that differs from the playground systems that we had, Tracy and I, when we were kids, maybe you guys were kids, is this rubber floor mat. It's made out of recycled tires. There's a 2-inch base that goes down. Then this finished base is much finer. It's about 5/8 of an inch thick, and it's made to absorb shock. So if anybody does take a fall or does take a dive, they're not as apt to get hurt. And I think Young and Wright did a nice job here with all the plantings and whatnot around this area also, just to make it look inviting.
Who's the landscape architect?
Joy Keebler. No, this is not the same stuff. Maybe these smaller pieces, they're loose. Like at Ralph Olson Stadium, they've got that synthetic grass and they got the rubber pellets inside. I think that the smaller pieces here are like the rubber pellets in there, but this is not the same as what's on.
Nope. All right, who wants to go around one? Hey guys, that concludes our show for this month. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I must say, I am so excited about our interns. We had such a great time for the month of July. We visited all of the schools that were under construction, and they really did learn a lot. Now our interns are experiencing work at our program partners' offices, and I know they're going to really appreciate them as much as we've appreciated them. Now, don't forget, we are on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in LPCiminelli. There you'll be able to view all of our past and current shows. Facebook friends, don't forget to check out our Facebook page to find out about any opportunities or updates on any programs we currently have running. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, give us a call. There's the hotline number. Thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, let's keep making it happen.